Yo, what is good? What is good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Shout out to yourself for being in the building. You are now here for the Dot and Clutch Show, episode 3, with my special guest, you famous enough, you already know. GM, head coach of Heat Check Gaming, needs no introduction. Got my co-host tonight, man, X Versa, aka Lavelle Cole on Twitter. And we about to have a good show tonight, man. How y'all feeling? What's good with you, coach?
Dog, I ain't gonna kid lie to you. Like you was doing this intro and then you said what's good with you. I thought you was talking to the chat. I ain't gonna even lie, dog. I be getting sometimes I be getting caught in the moment, getting lost sometimes. I'm like, dang, I gotta sue them voice. I can just listen to him talk.
Yeah.
I got caught in the moment. But I'm good. I'm good though. I'm good.
That's
I'm
good,
good.
man.
You're ready to go back to Houston, man.
Yeah, man. On the first next week, you or the end of this week, end of this
Yeah, the end
weekend,
of
you
this
heading
week I'm
back. You
out.
heading to
Yeah.
Houston, man. Okay, gonna get to see the fam, man. Reinvent with get to reconnect with Babe. You know what I'm saying? I know you doing good,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to her, man. 300K, I think on TikTok, man, doing big numbers. I can't wait to see that joint
Superstar.
content from y'all too, man. It's been a blessing watching her grow with you, man, and that's some of
What
the things.
me? You passed me.
But yeah, she bad.
Hey,
Yeah, she
you
bad.
know
Shit.
what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? She
You
in
know
her
what I'm saying?
own lane, man. She in her own lane,
Hey,
man.
hey, after she started taking off, I became her manager. I was like, okay, this is what we need to do.
Hey, you
This is
know
what
what
we
I'm
need.
saying? Hey,
I'm talking about what she got to do, but this is what we need to do.
this what we
This is what
doing.
we need to do.
I love it, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and shout out to my co-host in the building tonight, man. Clutch couldn't make it. He had to work a double, man. So we got the viral moment, aka X Versa, in the building, man. We here, man. How y'all feeling? How you feeling, Verse?
Doing good, man. Just logging in for pre-drive. I'm ready to be here, see what y'all got going on, and let's get these hot topics flowing. What's going on?
No doubt,
See
no
how things
doubt. Let me
go.
show out some love to the chat, man. Shout out to Florida in the building, Darnett in the building, SSWI, my brother in the building from work. Appreciate you tuning in. Got the homie Dave Loose in the building, FSG in the building, Sales, FSG in the building, Guap. Good to see y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a great show for you tonight, man. The boy Famous finna drop some jewels on us, man. But the main topic of the show tonight, man, is are you doing enough to get drafted, man? And one of the reasons why I brought in Verse from because he has a personal relationship with Famous. I have a personal relationship with Famous. So it's gonna be a great conversation tonight, man. We got no yes man. Famous has talked to both of us in the raw before, gave us both advice before. So it's good to have this brother on, man. This is something that y'all need to cherish within the community because we don't have people like Famous trying. Well, we don't have many people in the community that's trying to do and put out content unrelated to himself. He putting out content for y'all, and that's the first thing I want to talk about today, man. What triggered you, Famous, to approach this season or this pre-draft with content related to the community versus previous seasons?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I don't remember exactly who said it, or where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Jonah. I think it was Jonah who said it. That any other esport, the best players, in the world that play on these esports teams for like Call of Duty or Overwatch, whatever. Their biggest content creators are the players that's on their esports teams. And when it comes to us, when it comes to 2K, our biggest content creators are like park players and stuff like that. And
Stage
so I
players.
dived a little bit into it. Right? And I'm looking around or whatever, and I'm like, bro, we don't put out no content. And Joe knows is somebody that I'm like really, really close with already. I know I talked to Joe a little bit, but it's always on some, it ain't nothing about like, what should we do this, should we do this, until recently, he started talking to me about content in our community and program. He's like, bro, you know, they can put out program content. They're nervous about doing it. They can do it because you can get views off of it. And so I started going a route of like putting out content, just esports related content. I didn't have it in my mind to go back to doing program sports centers at all. And Kino Keena hit me up. He DM'd me. He was like, Famous, I'm finna start putting out content, but I'm finna put this video out, because he got the game early.
Mm-hmm.
He got the game early.
He
was
did.
like, I'm gonna put out a video as soon as the game drops, so the embargo lift, that we can put out content, but I need help with my title. And it's just so happened, like 2 or 3 days before he asked me that, I had figured out the YouTube algorithm. I had literally figured it out. And when he hit me up, because it's one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna hold this close to my heart. Like, the YouTube algorithm is something that you can bottle up and sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I was like, I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna hold this to my heart. But when that day when Keena hit me up, something just switched on me, bro. Something switched on me, because I said, this is what you do. I literally told him exactly what to do. That video that he asked me about initially, it's sitting at 70,000 views right now.
Yeah, he got like 40,000 day one. He got like the day one. He got like 40,000. Yep, I watched it. Yep.
And so like the next day, Bobby Buckets had put a video out, and his video was at like 20-something thousand. And I said he doing something. He doing it wrong. He doing it wrong. Even though you get views right on YouTube, you can still be doing something wrong. And I was like, you doing something wrong. So I messaged him. I said, Bobby, you doing something wrong, and I want to help you, but do you want my help? And he was like, yeah, I want your help. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I told him to go in there and change everything, from his title, his description, and his tags. I literally told him to change everything. His video is about to hit 100K. Probably today or tomorrow, his video will hit 100K. And from that point on, Bobby views have been on the upward tick from that point on, because he's doing everything right. He's probably at the end of this month, he's probably gonna make like about 2 bands off YouTube, just from the way the upward trajectory. So the whole thing is that I know for a fact that these players can make more off YouTube than they can in the league if they just put their best foot forward. It's just that growing phase is really tough, man. That growing phase to get past like, putting these videos up for free and getting past the monetization phase of YouTube is really tough. I know it's tough.
Yeah, man. It's super tough.
Like you're literally already doing the content. Like, you're doing it already.
Correct.
Just take that content from Twitch and just put it on YouTube. And you're already not getting paid nothing for this extra content. Period. Just take it. Just do me a favor. Take that content from Twitch and just put it on YouTube. And you can just close your eyes and whatever happens. But I have the tools to help you get there. You just got to put the content there. And right now, man, I'm probably helping about 40, 50 players right now, to keep it a buck. Like, when it comes to like YouTube, and it's just something that I want them to, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna be here all the time. I'm not gonna be here forever. I'm not gonna be in this space forever. I'm not gonna be a coach forever. I'm not gonna have the ability to help them forever. But while I'm here, I do want to help them, because I know how much money is there. Joe showed me a video, a poem video that he put out that had made 30 bands off one video alone.
Wow.
30 bands. And I'm like, come on, bro. It's like, there's no reason why these players shouldn't be pushing for this right here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like, that's my thing, bro. My thing. I watched my girlfriend build her account from 0 to 300K without my help. And without my help, I never stepped in and told her what to do, this and the third. And she's somebody that, she likes the people that we always joke about that just be on Facebook. She only had an IG account with her friends on it. And if she can go from not knowing TikTok, not knowing anything about social media, to 300K and getting brand deals that's worth $5,000 for a 30-second video, you people that live on social media, that work on social media, should be able to do this.
Right. Yeah, man. I love it, man. And that's one of the things. And yeah, I'm gonna definitely be hitting you up on the side. I got all of the content in the world. I've been hoarding content, so we definitely gonna talk about this algorithm, because I want in on that.
Real with you. I have no clue why you haven't hit me up.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm like anything else.
I know what you was going through. I understand that part.
Yeah.
I understand that part.
But
like the other day. It's like the other day when you asked me to be on here. I said, "What took you so long?"
Well, well, you know me, man. Like anything, if you pay attention to how I move through the community, even when I was down there with you, I like to get it out the mud on my own, man. I like to test the waters. I like to see what I can do on my own. I like to build my fan base kind of organically, because I feel like I get more out of it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning it's more reward for it. More reward for me, because a lot of the things that I do inside of this community, I don't really gain nothing from it. Like, a lot of people feel like I profit a lot, or I do a lot off my mixtapes and that, but I pay my staff. Like, I got staff that get paid every month, whether we having a big month or a small month. You see what I'm saying? Because I believe in my team. And by them knowing that they got this guaranteed money coming from me every month, it makes them work harder for me. That's why we have the best content. That's why we can put out this great work, because my people have faith in me and I have faith in them. So it's something that I take pride in. But I definitely wanted to have you on because I seen what you're doing with the ticketed spaces. I love that. I absolutely love seeing you doing that, because that's something that I wish more people would take advantage of. So to see you take the leap, whether you had 8 people in there or 8,000, I thought it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think people need to start somewhere. Just like with Verse in the chat right now, I got him together with his stream, like helped him put together his setup just so he can be able to put out more content and more content that's worthy of people to watch him. Because when you got dope talent and ain't nobody watching it, it's like the talent is going to waste. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people need to put a face with the name. It's the same thing with me with Fire Sticks. I had this huge following and nobody even knew what my face was. Nobody knew who was behind the scenes running the show. Nobody understood like who was like navigating through the market. So that's why I came out the shadows.
Check this out. Season 2, Brad was in the studio in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, Brad came walking through with a green Fire Sticks jacket on. I said, bro, what is that? Where you get that from?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, it's a dude in the community, yada yada, this and third. I said, huh? I said, that's fire. And here's the cold part about it. Like, when I saw that jacket, that's when I was like, let me go look this person up. We already following each other.
Yep.
But I had no clue who you were.
Yep.
This is me being real, because back a couple before that, I think I followed you when you did some work for Kurt.
OG.
And
Yep.
that's when I followed you. But when Brad came walking through with his jacket on, I don't know if you even remember the jacket, but it was like a windbreaker type jacket.
Yep.
It was a green windbreaker type
Fire
jacket.
Sticks, yep.
I'm like, bro, that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's fire, bro. And that's when I was like, let me get in tune with this dude, because he's doing some stuff that nobody's doing, but nobody even know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like what Versa was saying, like what Versa just said. Like if you're doing all these moves and nobody knows about them, then you're not really doing nothing, bro.
Yeah.
You're not really doing nothing. So you making this stuff right here, and then I'm like, bro, like people have to know that you're doing this type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People have to know you. If not, it goes to waste. It goes to waste.
Yeah, man. And it was dope, right? Because I tell the story all the time. I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't got no relationship for Famous, and I'm about to be in Miami. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, Don't worry. What's meant to be, And you know what I'm saying? She was like, you gonna build. Don't even worry about it. Just go down to Miami and handle your business. So it was just, to me, when you reached out.
Wait, hold on. First you gotta tell them what you was in Miami for, because you was in Miami for the Call of Duty tournament.
Oh yeah, man. So yeah.
So you gotta lay the story all the way out there, so people.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so. Right, yeah. So like, so before I even really got a huge introduction into the 2K community, I was real heavy on the COD scene. Like Call of Duty was my game. Even though I played 2K and I played 2K competitively, like I got into Pro-Am like around 17. I was a late bloomer, I guess, to the Pro-Am scene. A lot of people jumped in 15 and 16. I was really late to the party, coming in at like 17 not even post-draft, it was just 17 period. It was like season 1 had just had just started, or was at 18 or something. So it was like I was late, you know what I'm saying? So when I really, really dove into the community in 2018, I was still really big on Call of Duty. So I was huge in the Call of Duty side with building my brand and building everything. And I took a gamble. I had assembled a team, a group of 5. I did like I always do. I had a captain. And then it was like, okay, once I got my captain, it was like, let's build. And he had brought in some special guys, and he was like, look, I think I might have found the guy. We gotta wait 2 months till he turned 18. And I'm like, what you mean? He like, man, this the best 17-year-old in the world right now, which was Gunsy. And he was like, man, if we can lock in Gunsy, it's over. He was like, but we need you to call his mom. We need you. They not sending him to Miami. Like he only 18. They don't really understand gaming. So I'm on the phone with his mom. I'm explaining his parents that it's gaming. Like, I could change your son's life if you just allow him to get on his plane. I'm going to chaperone him. I got the apartment. I got the Airbnb. I got the car. They going to go everywhere with me. I'm basically going to be his chaperone. He is in great hands, but I need this opportunity to change your son's life. You know what I'm saying? And the only way I can do that is if you put him on this plane. So we get the team together. We scrimming every day we scrimmed for like 3 weeks heading into Miami. And when I tell you they was on the game for at least 10 hours a day, every day we going over strategy. We might have played, let's say it was 128 teams in Miami. We might have played 50 of them. We only dropped 3 maps. Out of all 50 of them screams, we were on a terrorist run, and I knew it. I felt it in my heart. My wife felt it. She like, we finna go to Miami and make history. So I pull up to Miami with my Call of Duty team. Nobody ever heard of Fire Sticks gaming before. And we dipped in Fire Sticks gold. I got them they in Fire Sticks hats, they in Fire Sticks jackets, jerseys, they got joggers, they got on Fire Stick slides, and I got the whole community in Miami. They at the convention center like, yo, who is you and who is this owner? Like, this owner is dope. Like where did y'all come from? Like, man, we Fire Sticks gaming. We based out of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest was history, man. We went on a miracle run. We didn't lose a map until round 7. We ended up getting knocked out in round 9, but that was in round 10 after we qualified for champs. In round 9, we put 15 bands in our pocket, and then we owned the LA in 2 months to qualify for Call of Duty champs. We ended up taking 17th in the world. With the top 32 teams in the world going against E United, FaZe Clan, all of them. So it's funny to me how embraced the 2K community is in the Call of Duty world. Because if you really paid attention to Call of Duty, you would have saw us a couple years ago at 19 showing our ass. You know what I'm saying? Which is, excuse my language. And it was wonderful that when you reached out, it was like I tell the story. I'm chilling. And you hit me like, yo, I know you not in Miami. And I said, yeah. He like, are you really in Miami? He's like, and you in Miami winning money? He like, did you just qualify for champs? And I'm like, yes. You like, bro, if you don't call my phone in the DM. So I'm racing, like, I'm telling the wife, like, yo, Famous just hit me. Because it was like the whole, I only had small support from the community at that time. SSWI, all of my FSG members, but it was really just SSWI, and Red Rose Gaming. They was really the only people who were supporting. But people like you who watch other esports, you like, yo, that's Fire Sticks. Like you down here cashing out. Like, man, if you don't get to the studio, and I tell people all the time, man, when you invited me to the Miami facility, man, it changed my trajectory, because I went from wanting to help my team physically playing the game to wanting to help my team more behind the scenes and catapult players. And that became when you told me, like, bro, I need you on this side versus the player side. And it was like, man, he like, you like, bro, you moving like a 2K League team on your own. Like, he like, you down here in your own shoes. Like, are you serious? You got your own shoes on right now. I need like, and that was really it. That was my moment that said, you know, you like, man, it's 2K League, people in the 2K League who don't got your resume, who ain't never put together 5 and never came out and won money. So it's like for you to have this going on the top of your cover letter, I think you putting yourself in a great position. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because you and Verse had a moment after season 3. So talk a little bit more, Verse, about the impact of your conversation with Famous after you didn't get drafted and how much that helped you.
Okay, so first and foremost, so like I've been, for people that do know me, most people do know me, but I've been around for a long, long time. Like I've been doing this since we had like crew mode, 2K10, 2K11, the team up lobbies in 2K13, 14, all that stuff. So like I've been doing this at the competitive level for a long time. You know, a lot of people, like, it's funny like how people see me play now, or like last year and be like, oh, you played lockdown. I'm like, no, I played lockdown because they don't understand the retrospective of the league. You have to make yourself available at what is available. Mm-hmm. So I made those changes based on that. But considering season 3 draft, like I came in just feeling like, okay, because season 1 I didn't get in, season 2 I didn't have time because a lot of stuff was going on. You know, everybody has their ups and downs, and I was one of the top shooting guard, like definitively one of the top shooting guards. So like I'm there and I see everybody. That wasn't my first time meeting Famous. I met Famous at the Orlando event. I think it was like season 2. We passed words and everything. He was like, well, now I got a face to put to a name. Like, you a cool person. Well, you know, we chopped it up and everything. I saw you that day. I was like, bro, Famous this tall. And I ain't short, so I'm like...
Yeah, he tall, yeah.
Bro. So, like, where that came from, but it was a great experience, and, it was crazy. Like, a lot of people don't remember that, but that Full Sail University Arena was nice, and, like, the environment, especially, but we gonna get that to another time, because that next game is crazy. That whole event was crazy. But, because of my competitive background, like a lot of people don't know, I used to play Halo. Like I used to play Halo with like Flame Sword, Wall Sheet, Ninja. Before Ninja took that catapult, like I used to play with those players and stuff. And now that I got there, and like I'm at the draft, I'm like I'm anticipating, like I'm getting drafted this year. I was like, I did everything right. I did the content. I played well. I was consistent. I won tournaments. I did everything right. So, like, we're going through, and I'm talking about we got to, like, second round. And every time a team popped up, like, that needed a shooting guard, you would hear Scott Cole, you would hear them say, oh, somebody that might go right here, you might be looking at first.
Yeah, you got mentioned, like, 3-4 times in that broadcast. Yeah,
and I'm sitting there just looking. I'm like, I don't know who's going to take me, but I was like, I had a good year interviews that year, so I'm like, I don't know who's going to take me, but I'm willing to go anywhere. Like, I told everybody I was willing to go anywhere. I was going to perform no matter where I went, because I was ready. And things didn't go my way. And, like, you know, after the draft, like, I had conversations with, like, Oakland Rose, Snagaholic, conversations with Chess, even though Chess turned around and got the opportunity a few months later. Like, I was talking with a lot of people, and it was like, oh, yeah, just keep your head up, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what could have went wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking to Lottie because, you know, I flew down there. I was chilling with Lottie, Aaron, the whole GFG, everybody. It was a very welcoming environment for everybody to be doing all this crazy stuff that they do on Twitter, saying stuff. It's completely different when everybody's like face to face or like.
It really is. Yeah.
Completely different. So like, I don't really pay much into that. So we ended up chopping it up outside, and it was cold, like super cold. For some reason, it was cold that day, and everybody just like, no, we gotta get something to eat. We all went out to Tack Tuck restaurant. When I tell you that food is crazy.
Yeah, Famous was telling me about that. I need to eat there. I gotta get there.
Look, the thing about it, like people, people might think we're capping because it's somebody
in the community. Yeah.
But that food is good. That food is good.
Different.
Right.
I don't know what they do to it, but that food is different.
But the cool thing, what was dope about it though was because they was getting ready to close the kitchen, and when we walked in, because y'all came in after us, right? When we walked in, I told Tech, I said, you know, Glenn coming, and he coming with a few other people, so we're gonna need them to be able to get food too. And Tech was like, no worries, we'll keep the kitchen open for y'all. These dudes got here like 30, 40 minutes after I said they was coming. They got here way, bro. And Tech was like, Tech kept coming. He said, Famous, where they at? I was like, bro, they coming. Tech was like, okay. They still was able to get food, bro. Like, nobody else in the restaurant could come in and get food.
Awesome.
But Tech still let them come and get food, bro. They was dumb late.
Awesome, Tech a real one for that. And like everything was, it wasn't like they was like waiting on the food. Like they got there, they ordered, and the food came out in no less than like 10, 12 minutes. And it was like everything was steaming.
Awesome.
If the draft is in New York here, we gotta get there, bro.
Yeah, I'm pulling up. I'm gonna pull up, man.
Me thinking about it right now, I'm hungry.
Right, hungry. Yeah, man. That's dope, man. Yeah, go ahead.
We sat down and we ate. We had a good time. I was sitting there. I was talking to Hot Shot TV. And everything just like everybody excited. Like we all like the room is lit. And then like I don't know what got into me. Like, I ain't really just sad, but I was more so disappointed. And like Famous looked at me from across the room, like from across the table, like at the angle, like he kind of far because we was sitting in the booth type long.
Okay.
And he pulled me aside. He was like, "Bro, you can't dwell on that. Like at the end of the day, like you did a lot of things that you were supposed to do. There's a lot of things that you may feel like you could have done better, but I mean, you got to deal with the cards dealt." And I think that year was like 63 spots. It was like 63 spots, I believe. Yeah. And he was like, "I know that you feel like you could compete, but a lot of these players, like I know you. Like I played with you on stream. I've seen you play. I've seen you play with multiple elite players. Like I don't get why, but at the same time, like my opinion doesn't matter because it's a multitude of other teams that may feel otherwise. But what I can tell you is, going forward, you got to do what you got to do and think about putting your best foot forward, other than trying to work out helping everybody else." And I took that into account and understood that with the longevity that I have in this community and the way that I went about things, not saying that I won't help anybody, because I still continue to help everybody each and every day. We say and have conversations about this all the time. Many things that I have conversations about all the time. I understood, like, I got to put my best interest forward. And it's not me being selfish. It's about me doing what's best. Because if I really want to impact people's lives, I got to change mine first. And at the end of the day, once we had that conversation, I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like everything just went back to being normal or perfect. Because at the same time, I still, in my mindset, I was like, man, I'm not going to, be that type of person. But I looked at that draft board and I was like, it didn't make sense to me. And then as the season went on, it started to not make even more sense because I'm like, I could have been so valuable here. Like, the problems that they're causing, I could have made that organization way more better in so many aspects. But it taught me, like, in life, like, I can't sit down and look at those things. I just got to prepare myself to be better for the next time coming around. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I done told you, I said it's certain opportunities that probably be presented to me that I really wouldn't want to take. Like, just because I know, like, they don't have what's in my best interest. And it's funny because Dave Fry and Vanna just had that Boba Talk thing.
Yeah.
And Vanna was saying the same thing. And it's not me. I'm not trying to come off as disrespectful. I'm a very respectful person. I'm very well spoken. I know how to use my words. But at some point, when you look at things in a bigger picture, you start to realize, like, I'm more valuable than how people are treating me. And if you don't understand that and you don't represent that, people will continue to belittle you or try to take advantage of that. But all in all, I learned a lot that night, and it's funny because I didn't expect that to happen. Like,
yeah,
you
man.
Looked at me at that table and just said, I'm gonna just let him air out, and that was it.
And there's a lot of that's go ahead, Famous.
That's the toughest part too, man. Like after the draft, trying to talk to somebody. They don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, man. That's real.
They don't want to hear that, bro.
That's real.
And so it was one of those things like, damn, should I go talk to him or not? Because it was like, people really don't want to hear that shit after they dreams been crushed. And I just try to keep it real. I just try to be honest with people, man. Like a lot of times, honesty hurts. And that's a lot of times I don't like talking to people after the draft because honesty hurt like hell. And I try to get the hell up out of the draft after it's over because it's a lot of sad faces, bro. It's a lot of sad faces after the draft. But you was with Lottie, You know, Lottie, my dog. You was with, you know, you came through with Aaron, my dog. So it's certain people that I feel like I can talk to, you know, about real stuff. And there's some people I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let them be. And it was just one of the moments. It probably was like shit, like 11, 12 o'clock at nighttime at that time too, bro. You know, so it was just one of those things. It wasn't nothing that was pre-planned. It wasn't no speech that was pre-planned. I didn't even know what the hell I was gonna say to you when I went up to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't know, bro. Some people don't like that advice. Some people don't want to hear that shit, and I understand it because there's times I wouldn't want to hear it either, bro. But you know, it's life, bro. We have like coaches and GMs, bro. We have the hardest jobs in the fucking world. People really don't realize that shit, bro. We have the ability to change people's lives, and we have the ability to hurt people's lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's really difficult. I always say, bro, like and I tell myself this all the time that I probably screwed up Delusion. I probably fucked that kid's world up by drafting him early because he wasn't ready. But I feel like if I took a swing on him, you know, and he comes in and he does what I think he could do, that we going to the championship, we're going to the playoffs, we're going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready, and I went on him early, and that's how the league other teams might look at him like he did this and this year, yada yada yada, and not give him another chance. You know, when I know that he could play the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's really hard to deal with.
Now, let me ask you that. That's a good segue. I don't want to cut you off. But when you say drafting them early, right? I know we hear this term in the 2K community about people being drafted a year early, or we hear the term draft class, right? Talk to me a little bit more about that, because I feel like kind of this year kind of proved, it kind of proved with Cooks and Idris and Kelly having such a great year going undrafted. Is the draft class, can you be drafted a year too early, right? Because I look at a person like let's say like Dawsick, right? He didn't play. He didn't play at all. And he was one of the top lockdowns. You know what I'm saying? Going into the draft, you know, he was high on everybody's leaderboard. We know he could hoop, right? But does him, I know we hear rumors about him saying he didn't want to play. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe any player gets drafted to say they don't want to play at all. Because that's like getting drafted to the NBA and never playing a game. That's like getting drafted to the MLB and never playing a game. I don't believe that at all. If you have competitive nature, you want to hit the court at some time. Whether it's 1 game, 2 games, you want to get a feel for that, you know. So do you feel like him getting drafted and sitting puts him in a better position because he learned the league, because he's in it? Or do you feel like maybe them not taking him and him falling to a team who actually could have used the lock would have been able to give him better experience? Or should he have not got drafted and go back into that draft class and now be, let's say, the premier lock this year, going into this season, where he can be a first round draft pick because he went through post draft and possibly dominated hypothetically, like we know he would have been a top lock. He was a top lock in pre-draft. Is it possible, when you say get drafted early, is inside of this league that we call the 2K league, is it possible for a player to get drafted and it's actually not good for them?
So it's a couple things here.
Okay.
It's a couple things here. First thing I want to talk about is Cooks, because I was one of the ones who told Cooks that he was early. So whenever you see him tweet,
Jules, I told y'all I had him. Okay.
Whenever you see him tweet about that, he's talking about me.
Okay.
But, that's my dog though. That's my dog. So I don't take it as no kind of way because that's my dog. But yeah, you can get drafted early. You can 100% get drafted too early, man. Cook showed out. And I was happy he showed out because there's people that thought he couldn't play the way he did. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying that I said he was too early because I didn't feel there was enough point guard spots available. You know, I was like, man, people probably going to put you outside of the core group of point guards that's going to go, so it's going to be really difficult. And this was a conversation that me and him had. Like, you know what I'm saying? After I traded my pick and got Sav, I was like, I don't have a point guard spot now. I don't have a need for a point guard, and I didn't even think about him playing two guard. It just never crossed my mind. So, when it comes to like, I'm gonna say it's a good and a bad thing about being a six man. You can be a six man, and you can become a journey six man where you just drafted as a six man every year. You can be drafted as a six man, and teams think you cannot play the damn game. And they won't take a chance on you because you was a six man and didn't play. You can become a six man and go in there and learn. You go in there and learn and just become just a better player. And it works either way. It's sometimes being a six man can hold you back, but as I think the Timberwolves did a good thing about pinpointing Dawson as somebody that was learning. They would call him a coach and this, that, and the third. And whenever you they zoomed in on their practice facility or whatever where they was playing at, you can see Dawson's behind a computer taking notes and stuff like that. So it's all, and I bet there's some shit that y'all didn't even see. I saw it. I saw it, and I bet there's some shit that people didn't even see was how they was pinpointing him as not just a six man. He was actually in there working, and he was actually in there reviewing film, and so whenever teams do hear this type of stuff, that intrigues them. I want to know why the Timberwolves winning so damn much. I might take a look on Dawson and bring him in and ask him what the hell they was doing.
Right.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So it's all kind of stuff, bro. It's all kind of stuff. But I think I did draft Volusia early. I think I drafted him too early. That's one of the things that. What's up?
The greatest thing about that Dawson reference is another person that did it before him that a lot of people don't realize brought so much value to teams, and now he works for the league. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching and Nacho. Nacho as well.
Cha-ching mental. Cha-ching a damn dog when it comes to like mapping things out and putting things together and how things should work and how a team should be put. He a damn dog. Excuse my language. Like a lot. I'm not. I think people. I don't want people to feel like I'm just advocating to make those picks just for six man because I know it's people that may want to have a backup point guard or a backup shooting guard or a backup center. But you do, if you're confident in your team, like how per se you were confident in yours, and Timberwolves may have, I don't know what the situation may be, but confident in theirs with their starting five, and you can find that type of player to bring in that type of mentality and that type of level-headedness or structure to their roster or mindset that all those players could gel with. I don't think that's perfect, to be honest.
Yeah, Cha-ching, man. Cha-ching is a different breed. Cha-ching is a funny guy, too. I love Cha-ching. He played when he was here with me, and I was even happier when he got drafted again because it was like I said, it's tough getting drafted as a six man and then trying to get back in. And Cha-ching was able to go to the Bucks, and from there, he's literally getting ready to move to New York in a couple weeks. For his league jobs, you know what I'm saying? So it's really dope seeing. It's just the level that he was, because I remember him at the draft with his brother, and he was telling him and his brother was saying they wasn't sure he was gonna get drafted, and just that and third, and I took him, and that's what's so great, man. You get these people that's just grateful for a chance, and it's good to see people that's grateful for a chance, and then you see people that get in the league and they just blow opportunities. That's one of the toughest things. That's one of the toughest things. I want to speak about Glenn too, man. Okay. Glenn, man, that's my dog. I love Glenn to death, bro. I love Glenn to death. Glenn made one mistake with us, and I know he knows what I'm talking about. And that one mistake, it doesn't define him. But in the same sense, I felt like it was a life lesson that he had to learn and get through to become a better person, not just a better player, but a better person overall. And it's so tough, man, when I make these decisions like I did, because I know having Glenn on my team would have made my team a lot better than it was this past year. But I'm a life lesson type of person. I'm a life lesson type person. If you don't learn lessons in life, and if I can't help you learn lessons in life, then I'm not doing my job as somebody that's above you and that's looking out for your well-being. I know it was tough. I know Glenn probably talked shit about me. Well, I know he probably talked shit about me in the past about him not being back, and I know for a fact that he's overcome everything that he had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like to see when I see somebody that can make these mistakes as a young man and then overcome those mistakes and prosper from it, I'm all for it. Life lessons is a big thing for me, bro. I don't give a fuck about 2K. When players come here to play with me, I don't give a fuck about 2K, bro. Everybody's good at 2K at this point. You know, if I can't help y'all learn life lessons, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And everything not all about 2K. That's the hardest thing that for people to understand is that it's just all about 2K. You got to win this, you got to win that. No, I want you to become a better man than what you came here as. When you leave here, I want you to be better than what you were as a man, not as a fucking 2K player.
I love that.
2K is 2K.
That's something people gotta understand, especially people in my position that's not going for like administrative positions in the league. It's bigger than just 2K. I know it's funny because we say this all the time. It's bigger than 2K. It's about your product as a person, what you represent, what you stand for, your character, your principles, and then your outlook in the real world. The outlook of others that are like in administrative positions need to know those intangibles about you as a person, and then they will know how to play and plug you into whatever position they see fit, and it's up to you to excel at that position that is appointed to you. Glenn, my dog, I talked to Glenn, we laughed together, we played a game together, and I told him like some of the stuff that he did shouldn't happen. It's just it can't happen, and at his age, I understand.
Yeah,
you have to.
Exactly. Like, you know, and I understood Glenn was a young man, like young man, and see that's why I handle two situations differently. Like you know, the situation with Glenn was handled different than the situation with Juan. Because the situation with Juan, I was like, you know what? I just don't think you deserve another chance in this, bro, at all. But when it came to Glenn, I was like, you know what? I feel like Glenn definitely deserves another chance. And anybody who asks me, I say that. I say yes. I think he deserves another chance because he's learned from his mistakes. Juan didn't learn shit from his mistakes. And that's what I'm saying. Like I told Juan all the time, like when he was here, when Juan was here, I told him all the time, I said, bro, you need to learn lessons in life. Like you need to learn these lessons in life because if you don't learn life lessons, bro, you're not gonna make it far. You're not gonna make it far at all. Like you're not, and people gotta understand that. Like you have to understand that. 2K, I don't give a damn about 2K. Like I don't care about 2K. I would say that to the high roads that 2K is what it is, bro. 2K is what it is. You're gonna win games, you're gonna lose games. But if you come in here and you don't leave here as a better man, then I fucking failed you. I failed you.
I love that.
I don't like failing people.
I love that, bro. And I'm you brought up Juan, right? And I'm gonna bring up, since the season over, I'm sure you don't mind me talking about it, but me and you talked about your draft board right after you had made the Sav trade, but it wasn't announced yet. When you called me and we talked about the team and you told me who you was high on, and one of the people you brought up was Juan. And I was like, remember, I was like, man, like, you gonna take a shot on Juan? And you was like, look, you was like, this is why. He was like, he from Miami. He get to come home. He gonna be in a different environment with his family. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be able to drive home if he need to. I feel like maybe he wasn't all the way understood in Toronto, and that's some of the things that maybe Juan don't even know. That you having these conversations prior to even drafting, like, man, if Juan is available, I might snatch him. And I'm like, man, Juan, like, man, what didn't he? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know the whole story about what was going on in Toronto, but I knew your heart was, I feel like I could help him. Like he's a hell of a talent. If he do fall to me, I get to bring him home. He can be by his family. That's somebody who care. That's somebody who thought about how he can provide a better environment for you. So now I understand the flip side of you saying he don't deserve a second chance, because I gave him one of the best opportunities that he had with being close to his family, playing for his hometown, and me giving him the second chance that nobody thought he was going to have. So you really checked all the boxes right there from your heart, versus that was a heart pick. Like, you know what? Let me take a gamble. Like, same thing you were saying with Cha-Ching. So it was like you putting these things out here and having that inside of you to make these tough decisions, but the decision might have been tough for the team, but it was great for the player. So for a player to mess up a situation with somebody who actually cares, when it's other coaches and it's other teams who, you know, they don't care that much. They not putting that much thought
See,
into these picks.
it's,
We can
it's,
tell
it's a
by
thing
by
too.
their seasons. They not putting thoughts into this. They not putting thoughts into the trades and the moves and the picks. So go ahead, speak on it.
And see, here's the thing though. Like, we had lost like 4 games at that point, and then he did what he did, and then we won one and lost one, something like that. I forgot what it was, but
Mm-hmm.
when we went on that run of like 7 games in a row, we would have won those same games with one. That's 7 games. We would have won those same games with him. Point blank, period. And that people say, Kelly's good, Kelly's that, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, if Juan was here, we would have knocked those same games off of our schedule. In that role, if he was here, and it's like it is what it is. There's so much that happened, bro. Gonna caught COVID when he was here. The day that Kelly came, Gonna caught COVID, and we didn't see Gordon for 6 weeks, bro. We didn't see him for 6 weeks. 6 weeks we didn't see him, bro. Like he was on quarantine for 6 damn weeks, and it was just a lot, bro. It was so much, bro. Like Deez had to go home because his wife got sick. She's pregnant right now. She got sick. It was a lot. It's a lot, man.
I remember.
It's tough, man, because this is like shit that people have no clue about.
Mm-hmm.
They have no clue about. If you go back and watch our games that we won when we was on that winning streak, you don't see Gooner. Like whenever they pan into the room or whatever, after we won, and I come in the room and start shaking their hand, you never see Gooner, bro. You never see him. People's like, maybe the famous just give up on Gooner. He was sick.
Yeah.
He was sick, bro. Yeah. What did people would want me to do? Like the dude was sick. He can't play.
Mm-hmm.
And he come back, and I'm trying to find somewhere to play. Like Kelly's playing great. I can't take Kelly off the spot. He's averaging 17, 18 points a game. I can't take him off the spot. I'm literally trying to find somewhere for Gordon to play because I know Gordon got stick. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much that people just don't realize before they just start talking about stuff and not realizing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. Now, just to switch topics for a bit and hit on some of your YouTube things and what you've been working on TikTok. Tell me more about with all of the talent that we have in this league. Why do you feel like it's important for players to now start building their individual brands?
You know what's funny, bro?
Mm-hmm.
It happened when JT didn't get drafted. I was watching how JT was like moving and stuff like that leading up to the draft, and then he don't get drafted. And JT can tell you, I hit him up. I was like, "What now? Like, what you gonna do now? Like, what's your plan?" Because if the league go away, then there's gonna be 130 some people without jobs, and that's the grand scheme of it. And even more than that, because I'm talking about 130 players, but even more than that, like me, Kurt, all of us, bro, we don't have no job. Like what now? And like the JT shit was a realization for me that it can happen at any moment for anybody, bro. It can happen at any moment for anybody. If you don't build this content out, where it's called evergreen content, right? Evergreen content is something that you're going to always get views for. It's going to always happen. That's why whenever I came back to YouTube, I started laying out this evergreen content about, what it takes to be a coach or a top 10 ways to get paid as a gamer, because this is stuff that people will search for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years down the line. Like that's the evergreen content that I wanted to lay out first before I got back into like regular 2K stuff. And this community is so talented, and they don't realize how talented they are. Because they they think that, oh, I should just become a streamer. I should just become this, that, and the third. Yeah, streaming's cool, but people have to actually pay you for you to get paid on Twitch. People actually have to want to give you their money.
Yeah.
But when it comes to YouTube, they don't have to pay you shit.
You gotta watch.
To watch. Yeah, they don't have, for you to get paid. They don't have to pay you. Like people that's watching you don't have to pay you nothing. And that content on YouTube is gonna live forever. Twitch, if you're a partner on Twitch, it's gonna last 2-3 months and then it's gone. Like whatever you did 2-3 months is gone. But YouTube, it's gonna be there forever. It's gonna be there forever. And so my whole thing was like, after seeing everything, I swear to God, I don't mean to be like this, like this at all, but I swear to God, everything that I say, it always revolves around my girlfriend because she just did this. She did that shit out of nowhere. You know, she did that TikTok shit out of nowhere, and so everything's always like my whole mindset is like always revolved around what she's accomplished and how I can get players to do the same thing. And I'm starting noticing it. You know, I'm starting to see the uploads. I'm starting to see them, you know, hit me up about all this, and the third. And I'm like, that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. Like I'm in Kurt here now. Kurt, you need to do this, and third. Because like I said, we could have this job today, and we can not have this job tomorrow. And that's not just for players; it's for everybody. So this is all we know. Like this is literally all we fucking know is 2K right now. And so we got to put that knowledge out there. You got to just push it because it's there for the taking. YouTube is literally free money. It's free fucking money on YouTube. And if we don't take advantage of that, then somebody else will, and then it's gonna be long gone. It's gonna be long gone. So I just want players to realize that if we do content, you can get paid way more from doing this content than the league can pay you, and that's just facts.
Just want to back off that real quick, and that's why people gotta acknowledge the position that they in. Like this should have been stuff that people should have got their foot in the door about a long time ago. Like it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have. And I respect everything that you did. I respect everything that you did and all the things that you were doing. But my point is, it shouldn't have to take you to do that when you have been saying this from when you used to be opening in the car. Like you used to be doing the food challenge.
But check this out. Check this out, though, Versa. See, my thing is, I think the difference is that I wasn't practicing what I was preaching, though. So when I was doing the YouTubes back then, before I got this job or whatever, then I could say I'm telling y'all this and I'm doing it, and then yada yada third. Then I got this job and I was like, in my mind when I got this job, I was like, I can't keep doing this YouTube stuff because I'm gonna tip my hand this and a third. But grand scheme of things, I was making $2,500 a month on YouTube back then, and I stopped. I just told YouTube I don't need this $2,500 no more.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just because in my mind I thought that I'm going to go in here. I'm going to win championship. But if I keep doing YouTube, I'm going to give away that thought. I'm going to give my thoughts away to people who's not doing homework. And that just doesn't make sense for me, just not to give away free, just not to take free money, you know. And so after a while, you know, I started sitting back and I was like, I have to start back doing YouTube. And then once I started figuring YouTube out, see, back then I was making like $25 a month on YouTube, and I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. Right. I had no clue what I was doing. I actually know what I'm doing now. I actually know exactly what I'm doing now. I know what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. I know all this now. But back then I didn't know it, and I was making that money. But now I know it, and I was like, now I'm going to level it up because now I got so many things. I cannot do 2K YouTube. I can not do 2K content at all. I can just strictly do content with my girlfriend right now, and I'm literally going to make thousands of dollars with her because her fan base shits on mine. Like period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she big.
You know what I'm saying? But I choose to do this because I know the impact that I have on the community, and I know, and I know if I do it, I know it's gonna follow. You know, it's like it's free money for me to do this because I can still do my content with my girlfriend. Period. At any point in time, I can wake up. You know what I'm saying? I can wake up and do that at any point in time.
That's something I had to realize. Like I used to look at things like, damn, like all this stuff that I done like gave out information before, and I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like I know everything because I've been in your DMs too asking you about information. And like a lot of you don't even know, like the only person that know like real life is SSWI and Doc. You done seen TikTok. Our TikTok is growing exponentially, like booming. Yeah. And all I'm thinking about is once I convert this to YouTube, it's over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I already started like in the mindset, like, okay, I get in the league, I verify my Twitter, I verify my business page. Doc the only person that know. Viral Moment Inc., you know, I'm converting that into a whole different business, and merch is coming soon. Shout out to my boy Doc.
Yeah, I got you.
Merch coming soon, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, people don't understand the retrospect of the power that you have. Your image and what you represent is your power. Like, I wish that, I feel like this. people understand me and respect me. I wish people listen to me outside of viewing me as a player. I feel like a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. Like, if people would have just opened DMs about like me trying to push them in the right direction about how to project yourself on stream, how to go about wording or understanding dialogue that you exchange with certain people, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's in Discord, you can open up so many different opportunities. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And once you open up those opportunities, then you understand, like, okay, I need to carry myself in this way consistently. Like, I can't get caught doing this at all. Like, is it really worth it? And now, like, you're approaching your job, whether you're picking up a controller and playing the game or not, just that. You're approaching your job with the mindset, like, I understand that this is business. Mm-hmm. So I know what I need to do here, and I know what I need to do outside of here. And now that they understand how YouTube works, I pray and I hope that all these players ain't just looking at that money and like, okay, it's money. Because essentially, you're building a foundation. You have to build that foundation and understand what you're going to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that's a good segue because I want to ask Famous, right? When you putting together your teams, right? Because you coming off when you going into season 1, everything is fresh, everything is brand new. It's really no ceiling. It's all what you make it, right? You make it to the finals and you lose. Going into season 2, you coming off the loss, you hungry. You know what I'm saying? Now going into season 3, you getting your mojo. You understand the process. You understand you done drafted a few times. You taking gambles. You grabbing Glenn. You know, things of that nature. You going into season 4, you do another from the heart pick, right? So like now going into season 5, what type of players are you looking for as the GM and the head coach for your organization, right? Are you more willing or less willing, being you one of the only, not one of the only, you are one of the only people who got, a strong 4 years in the game. It's a few of y'all because you got new people and people getting cycled around and things of that nature on a couple teams. What type of players are you looking for going into this draft based on what you've been through? Are you still per se picking from the heart and you possibly might take a gamble, or are you going to be more kind of leaning towards the idea of looking for a more professional player, a more well put together player, a more content creator type of player? Talk to me more about like going through knowing some of the inside and some of the behind the scenes of the things you went through. What's your approach going into this season? Knowing that when you get players to lock in, like when you got Keely and you got them, you can go on these stretches and we can see you go back to the type of work that you put in season 1 and type of all, because every time you had big years, you went on runs, right? Meaning, and from a coach's son type of standpoint, that means there was a chemistry thing involved. That means that everybody locked in at the same time. That means some of the teaching and the coaching that you did behind the scenes, they felt that in these games, and they start, because a lot of these games, man, I don't know if people actually pay attention to you when they be in these chats talking crazy. You lost a lot of close games. Y'all, like, some of the games that you lost were like close games. It's not like you getting blown out, you getting flooded. A lot of these times it was close games. So talk to me about what's the mentality going into season 5.
I don't know.
Okay. Stomp the swab. That's two, y'all. That's two.
Yeah, I don't even know, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm looking for. To be honest with you, I don't know what type of players I want. I think this is one of those times where I'm just gonna let whatever happens. Okay. Like, it's not something like I want to just dwell on at the moment. Like, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. This is the exact player because I just don't know. I think this year, this off season, I just want to enjoy 2K, watching 2K again. I think that's the main thing. It's just I don't want to be having these long nights where I'm going to sleep at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, then waking up at like 10 and getting my day. I don't want to do that no more. Mm-hmm. I just want to be able to enjoy watching these young players play the game and me being back into my element of me enjoying it. 2K, I haven't enjoyed it in a long time because of this job, bro. It makes it really hard to enjoy it, man, because it seems like you always have to. It's always something to prove. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the point where I feel like I don't shouldn't have to prove nothing to nobody anymore, bro. And that's why I don't want to think about I need this right now. I need this type of play. I don't want to do all that, bro. But I just want whatever happens to happens. Be happy for these young players when they make the draft pools and stuff like I used to be, man, and go from there. I don't really want to pray somebody make the draft pool. I just want to be happy for them when they do make it. You know what I'm saying? Be happy for them when they get drafted. That's what I want to go back to. I don't want to. It's just too much, bro. Like this job would drain you. This would drain you. This is the toughest job I've ever fucking had, and I was in the Army.
Right.
And I was in the Army, bro.
Right.
I went to war.
Right. Strapped up for the country. Right. He said it's hard.
Like,
yeah.
This is 2K. This is 2K, and this is the toughest job I've ever had. And I don't want to dwell on all that stuff like that, like I'm used to, man. I just want to enjoy 2K.
I can understand that because so many things change. Like, so many things change over times. And, like, we was speaking about it before, like, people don't take it into account how many things, like, can alter, like, picks and things that you may expect. And, like you said, it could be very stressful. Like, people don't understand. You got to manage 6 individuals with 6 different problems or problems that they got going on at home, family problems, things that are going on at the facility. All those things matter. Like, those are, like, it may not be. It's not exposed to the outside.
I'm gonna pause you right there. It might not matter to the next person, but it matters to them.
Right.
It matters to them. And if you don't take their matters seriously, it's gonna reflect. It's gonna reflect. No matter how big or how small no matter how big or how small their problems are their problems, and they're looking for you to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even cut you off, but I just want to add that part.
No, it's fine. And people don't, like, it takes a certain level of maturity to understand that. Like,
oh man,
you can't just feel like because you know the surface of somebody else's situation that you just have all the answers to it. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody is built different, or wired different. We're all human beings at the end of the day. So, like, certain things may be so, like, up here for one, and they could be down here for the next. But that doesn't make it right for you to attack it or treat it any less than how you would want somebody to treat yours. And I feel like that's a huge thing. Like, that's a big thing for people that are want to be standing together, working together, and communicating together for 6 months, if not longer. Not only that, but if you have friction in between that, how are y'all playing or fighting for one another? How are y'all sacrificing and holding each other accountable for one another? Because at the end of the day, if it's more than one person or more than 2 people or more than 3 people, it's hard for anybody to say, oh, GM, they're friend, go fix that. Like, no, like, it ain't that simple. You know what I'm saying? And that's for anybody. Anybody that's put in that position.
I think like people take that for granted. You're right, Verse. You hit on it. They take it for granted, man, because like a lot of people, right? I know I got, I don't really care. It is what it is. I know I got one of the, let's say, more well-known organizations. Well, it's not too many orgs in this community. So I do have one of the few organizations where we do multiple things. We have multiple divisions. We not just 2K, and we not just built on 2K. But I think people don't understand, like, about me, right? Like, when I say this is a family-run org, it's really a family-run org. Like, me and my wife in the streams watching players. She's seeing how I interact with them. She's seeing, like, we sitting here, to the amount of times I done checked on players' kids and checked on their family, and I know their kids' names, and I know their little brother name, and I know, I think people take for granted what it takes to really run an org and to really put together, like, to have, and then the volume, right? Because I'm only one person. So then I grow, right? And then now it's 100 Fire Sticks gamers out here, and it's like, wow, I'm so big now that I don't have time to physically run the org, to put everything together. So I think people take for granted, like, the amount of time in the day that you have as a coach and as a GM to work on player personnel, to work on game planning, to watch film, to be able to put things together and make sure they got chemistry and work on the problems that they have individually and work on issues like when Deej and his wife got sick and he got to go home and then go and catch. I think people they really don't understand the aspect of you're the leader and everybody's going to come to you with all of their problems, all of their things. You have to be a sounding board for them one day. You have to be their mentor the next day. You have to be their coach the next day. And I think people don't understand how many hats that you actually wear when you're actually trying to run an organization. And that's why when I see some of these things like people putting out lists of who are the prospective GMs going into this season, and it's like, some of these people have never run an organization. They've never been a manager in their life. They've never managed people. You see them and it's like you want somebody to take a gamble on you. And I look at it like y'all just throwing out your friend's name, but you setting your friend up for failure because they got to understand the nuances of what it takes to actually run a team, to actually run different personalities. And then, hey, you get into situations where all of these personalities don't collab. They don't vibe. And then what you gonna do?
Here's the thing, Don. Here's the thing. Like people say, oh, Famous is on the hot seat. All right. First of all, tell me what's my job description. Do you know my job description? If you can tell me, say that I'm on a hot seat, then you should be able to tell me what my job description is. Now, once you tell me what my job description is, because I know you don't know it, but once you tell me what's my job description is, go down each one of those pots, those little things, and ask me, and ask yourself, am I fulfilling my job description? Now once you do that, and then you come back and say, you did everything that's in your job description. Now you tell me why I'm on a hot seat now. Now you tell me that. You know, because you think like people in this community, they act like these teams don't get reviewed. We don't get reviewed. And if anybody who ever worked a real job, they know after your review, at the end of the review, it says you either meet expectations, exceed expectations. Yep. Exactly. So if I'm on a hot seat, right? Why does every time after my review it says exceeded expectations? How does that make sense? Like you got to understand what my job description is before you can say somebody's on a hot seat. Because if I'm going to this every time and after my review it's exceeded expectations every time, then how am I on a hot seat? That just doesn't make sense, right? That doesn't click, right? Oh, because you're not winning games. Oh, is that the only part of running a team? Is that it?
That's why like you when you're on the outside looking in, and you know some people may get one part right or two parts right. That's fine, but don't try and paint a whole scheme of a picture that you don't
fully understand.
Because what you do is you put yourself in a position to not only be proven wrong, but then it just shows how ignorant you are to a certain regard. So now when people see that you have an opinion about something or you make a statement about something, whether it's, and I'm going to put it like this, whether it's a list, whether it's a ranking, whether it's a whatever type of opinion that you may state, then you start to find yourself not holding any type of value or any type of meaning behind your words, because people have heard you say so many things that are untrue, or so many opinion-based facts that are untrue, and now it's like your word doesn't matter at this point. Not that it mattered in the beginning, but now it doesn't matter even more.
And on top of that, you gotta realize that how much I do for my team. You know what I'm saying? Like when sponsors come in and they tell our sponsorship department, we want to work with Famous. They don't. That's their words. We want to work with Famous. If I'm not here, then it's a little difficult for that conversation to happen, for them to work with me if I'm not here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you gotta make sense, bro. You gotta make sense. And I care and love everybody, and I don't take don't take like jabs like that to heart because I know people just don't know. And people need talking points. If you need
That's
talking
true.
points, I'll be talking points.
Man, they need
Obviously,
content.
need something to talk about.
Yeah. One of the questions in the chat from SSWI is, what do you think it takes to be a good coach or a GM in the league? Like as far as like type of standards or values in a person, what do you think it takes? What does it take to be a good coach or to be a coach in the league or a GM in the league?
And look, when I got this job, and the Heat flew me out, and they started telling me all this stuff that I had to do. You know what I told them? I said, I only know 2K. I only know 2K. I don't. All this other stuff that y'all tell me I'm gonna have to do, I don't know. I don't know how to do any of that. And they taught me. They showed me. Like every year, my boss Lauren Cochran, she every year she like loosens the reins on what she wants me to do. And I'm going into year 5. Like I think last year was like a year. First time I had the full scope of doing everything.
Nice.
Now it's gonna be, and so I'm gonna be honest with you, SSWI. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to be a good coach or GM. I just know that I just try to give these players life lessons. I tell them, put them in the best place that they can be in to succeed, not just as a 2K player, but as a man. And that's my philosophy. My philosophy is I'm gonna grow as good as the team is gonna grow when it comes to this coaching and GM and shit, because there's no blueprint for it. When I came in, I was the first one. Like all of it, like me, Rico, Kyle, Rudy, all these people that was in season on Kite, all of us that came in season 1, we had no blueprint for this shit.
It was a test trial.
We had to figure this. Yeah, we were the test dummies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And I try to give all the information that I have and pass it on. I'm not somebody that's going to hoard it. I want people, when I walk away from this, I want somebody to take my spot and know what the fuck they doing, because I had no clue what I was doing. And so I try to show and share any knowledge that I have on this, because it's not something that you're just going to be able to just go on Indeed and find out what teams are looking for when it comes to this, because there's no blueprint. For people that want to get in this space, I'm just gonna say, just stand out. It's really hard for teams to like look inside this community, because they always feel like people in this community don't know what the hell they're doing. So you gotta have your shit on. You gotta have your shit intact. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your shit intact when it's time for them to step up to the plate and not look like a fool, because it's rare. That esports organizations will want to come and pull somebody from our community, because it's not like, we know 2K, but what else do we know? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn everything on the fly. I was just so glad. I was grateful that the Heat gave me an opportunity, and they allowed me to grow in this position, and they didn't let me fail at doing what I was supposed to do. They could have just put me in this shit and just be like, okay, figure it out. After year 2 or whatever, year 3, they could have been like, yeah, this shit ain't working out. We don't. And they wasn't. They wasn't. That's like my blessing, and that's my blessing. So to be honest with you, SSW, I don't have a real answer to that, because I'm still figuring this shit out myself.
Now me knowing that's a great answer, right? And now me knowing that your office is at the Miami Heat facility, right? How many bodies have you seen come and go in the past 4 years? Meaning you still got your job, but other people within the Miami Heat organization might have, it's they not getting it done, or they working for the main team on the NBA team. Have you seen people come and go, that revolving door, like, and you blessed to be in your position?
So it's 2 parts to that, right? Because I have seen people come and go. Like people that I was really close with, people that I still talk to this day, and telling them literally that I miss seeing them in the office type shit, you know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, Miami Heat is one of those companies that's very, very loyal. They're very, very loyal. They move people up from within. Like if you've been there for years and years and years, they're gonna try to move somebody up that's been there for a while before they reach outside of that building, right? And so it's been both ways. It's both ways. I feel like if I was just a regular employee and and people were saying I was on a hot seat, then I probably would have been gone. I probably would have been gone. But I'm not a regular employee. I take care of everything I have to take care of. I mean, I'm hitting all my notches. I exceed expectations.
Let them know.
Your review. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man.
All right. Well, next question in the chat before I get to my next question was, do all the teams have a practice squad to scrim against? Or I guess he's saying why doesn't? Because we know they all don't. Why doesn't every team?
No. Season 1 was the only season that teams really had practice teams to play against. For the simple fact, there was no way for us to practice in season 1. Not until like the end of the season. So there was literally no way for us to practice at all. You know what I'm saying? So that was the only time we had and so that was the only time we really had a practice team. We didn't have like a set practice team. We just had people that was from Miami that we that lived close and had computers that they can bring over and come over and play, and that's what we did. And when it comes to like practicing, right now, when it comes like for practice teams, I think one of the biggest things is that we don't. I don't think they do it because internet connections. Like if because you have to have it's a different game. It's a whole different game that we play on. We can't just load up 2K and just go to some hit. This is literally a totally different game that we play on, and so we would have to give everybody those games. Everybody get the game. But it's the internet connection. When we play against when we scrimmage against other teams in the 2K League, we know for a fact that they're going to have high powered internet, and it's not going to be like a lag for anybody. So we know we're going to get the best out of the best. But if we go the route of practicing against players all across the world, all across the country or whatever, everybody's internet's not going to match up. And so when that happens, there's going to be an issue when it comes to practicing and like lagging, and so we're not going to get the same experience that we would with practicing against teams.
Nice. Next question coming from Florida is, what tools to making better content on Twitch or just making content in general? I think he focusing on Twitch, but to growing your channel, what tools do you feel like people need to help grow their channel?
Just do it. Stop looking at the numbers, man. I think that's like the toughest part, is that people look at views and stuff like that. Streamers look at how many people they got in the chat. Don't look at the number of people you have in the chat. Look at who you have in the chat.
Yep.
If you want to be a streamer, stop worrying about the numbers and thinking that you should have more people in there. You be grateful for what you have, for the people that are there, and make sure you keep those people around and not lose them. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we look at numbers too much. And once we start looking at numbers, I just uploaded a video the other day, and early on, I think, this morning I only had 50 views on there. And you know what I did? I was just grateful for the comments that I have on a video that had 50 fucking views.
Yes.
Because that's what matters. The people that's there that's appreciating the content that you put out is the people that you should focus on. Don't focus on the people that's not there. And when they finally get there, then you can focus on them. But at this point in time, they're not there, so don't focus on them. Just continue putting content out and something to pop up. And in the same sense, like if you upload on YouTube, you gotta make sure you know the algorithm. Because if you don't know the algorithm, that's gonna be the toughest part. I kind of stray away from Twitch because I don't like Twitch's search function. It's hard for new people to get noticed on Twitch because the search function on Twitch is so ass, and it's not something that's good for new people at all. But when it comes to YouTube, if you follow the algorithm the right way on YouTube, then you'll get found. You'll 100% get found. When Keena put his first video out, Keena had 170 subscribers or something like that, and his video did 70,000 views. Like, how is that possible if he only got 170 followers? That's just following the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? If you follow that shit, it works. First, if you follow the algorithm right on TikTok, a video could just pop off out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what that's what you know.
Started, and just to piggyback on what you said, you have made a vibe. I just had a brain for it, but I want to just focus on the TikTok thing. Like, we had just started, and I think at the time when I sent it to you, we was at like 700 followers, 800 followers.
Yeah.
Not even that, probably like 500 if I'm being honest. And you told me what was going on. He was like, "You doing good, and you don't even know what you're doing. Like, y'all don't know what you're doing. This is what you should be doing." And right when we did that viral video, I think it's at like 70K views now, over 15K likes, over 200 something comments, like, and we just continue to build. Like,
this the crazy part about it versus like it's so simple. So like, if I tell you to do something, you be like, what the fuck? That shit ain't gonna work. And then you fucking do it. Then all of a sudden you're like, what the hell? It's like it's so simple. It's really simple, and it's crazy how simple it is that we just don't realize it. Because sometimes when something's so easy, you're like, there's no reason for me to do that. It's not gonna work. Right, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden you do it, and it's like, oh shit, like that shit's crazy.
You know, the biggest thing is though, and I'm gonna say it for like, because I used to have this problem, but I feel like a lot of players in the community or people in the community have this problem. People are way too afraid to try.
Yeah, that's facts.
You're way too afraid to try. Because at the end of the day, if you try and you don't meet those expectations, then it doesn't mean that you fail. You have to lose to win. That saying goes over a lot of people. You have to lose in certain aspects so that way you can win during the longer road.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Though. I don't like living off what if. I would rather fail at something and then opposed to me coming down the line and be like, man, I wonder what would happen if I would have did this. I don't want to think that. I want to be able to say, okay, I tried it already and it didn't fucking work, so I'm not gonna do it again. But if I don't try something first, you would never hear me say, I wonder what if happened. If I do it, I have looked at my drafts. I'm like, I did right on all my drafts. Every draft I've had. I did the right things on these drafts. Shit just didn't work out. I don't want to be like, oh man, what if I would have took this player and this, that? No, I did right on my drafts. The shit just didn't work, and that's just how life is sometimes. Some shit just not gonna work out sometimes, and that's how I live.
I love it, man, and that's what we doing right now.
That's what willing to adapt as an individual.
Yeah, man.
What you stand for, what you're trying to go for.
That's what we doing now, man. I sit here and I'm about I'd say a couple of these away from being monetized. I probably could put out a video tomorrow and be monetized. I'm that close. I like without even giving out the number, I'm only a few watch hours away. So if you support me and you support Fire Sticks, go click on some of my videos and just watch them and we'll almost be there. And that's some of the more that's more money that I'm gonna use to funnel through my players to help put them in better situations, to help market them better. But that brings me into one of my last questions or last topics that I have for you is what you see all of these people doing content. You pushing everybody, right? You got the whole community supporting you to do content. You could have easily started with like big name players and big name teams. What made you go to some of your pre-draft standouts to like what made you say I want to talk about Adios and people who like maybe are under the radar in your sports center recently when I was going back watching it? What made you bring up like more lesser known players as well? Is that you using your platform to help them, or are you actually watching in the streets, which I know you are personally, but tell the streets what goes into when you creating content, why you looking towards the underdogs and whatnot?
So I know for a fact that, I have to have big names on there, right? I know for a fact that when I put out content, like I have to have big names on these sports centers no matter what. But in the same sense, I can squeeze the up and coming team in there in between, and y'all have to watch it. you have to watch that to get to the big name. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like the way I have it formatted is the first video, the first because it's four games on my sports centers. I used to do more. Like back in the day, I used to put like 6 games on there, but it's just, man, that shit used to take forever. But it's 4 games. It's 4 games on that. So the way I format it is I have a big team at the beginning because I wanted to segue into a big game, and then the second game is a lesser known team, and I think I do it this way because that I know the next game after that's gonna be another big name, and then the last one this, that, and third. But teams need that push, man. Teams like you ever been like something like small working at a job and just being like a regular person, and then somebody that's a higher up come in and be like, "Hey, you're doing a good job." You know what I'm
Excellent.
saying?
Yep.
That make you feel fucking good. You know what I'm saying? That make you feel good. Like you know what you're doing is not going unnoticed, right? And so that's the reason I do it like this, because I could very well just put all known players, all known teams on there, and just say y'all got to get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like the small teams, y'all got to get out the mud. But it's not right. It's not right. I'm somebody that knows that everybody needs a push, bro. There's nobody in this world that made it just on their own with no push at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible to do. It's impossible to do. And so I know that with my voice, you know, I want to watch. I watch all these teams. I watch everybody because I just like program. I just love the fucking game mode, right? So I watch everybody. So when I watch teams like that, the Adios esports page don't even follow me.
Wow.
So
that's really getting it out the mud. Yeah, man. That's love.
It's like I know.
Wow.
I pay attention to a lot of this shit, bro. I pay attention to a lot of stuff that go around because I know that I was once in a position that I needed people to give me a push. You know what I'm saying? Without these players, without this community, I would never ever be where I'm at. And so I just reach back and try to find new teams that's up and coming. You know, I try to find a good game for them. I never put a bad game on. I try to find good games from both sides. Like if I put a game up, I want to make sure that the game is good on both sides of the ball, because I don't want to put a video out and you know it's a blowout or something and it's like a point for somebody to bash somebody else about it. And I never want to do that. I want to make sure that it's a good game on both sides. And some people have some highlights in there, you know, so that need it. And that's the main thing is that because it's one of those things that you can't go in this shit with no help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
man.
A team like Adios would never ever get any recognition
until you gave them some.
If I don't push, you know what I'm saying? If I don't do that, they have to win something. You know what I'm saying? They have to go win something big, and then all of a sudden people start, we always knew about this. No, y'all never. If you knew about it, why you didn't say anything about it? Type shit. And so I get those pushes because I know teams need it. And it's all about how they take it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how they use it. You know, I put people in videos before, and all of a sudden I made like that mixtape of me saying how good they were or something like that. And that's the type of shit I be living for, bro.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit I live for because I think people realize that. And I want to say this because and when Vegas come up, I'm bringing my girlfriend with me, and it's gonna be her first time seeing that how people interact around me. Because she's never seen it. She's never been around me with inside the community or nothing like that. So she never seen people act like oh my god type shit. People asking for pictures and all that shit. And I want her to see that because it's gonna happen for her. Like eventually it's gonna happen. This type of shit's gonna happen for her, and I want her to get used to the moment and shit like that.
Yeah, man, that was something I brought my wife too. Go ahead, Verse.
That's how I felt because like they announced the UPA thing and now it's just like when I went to all these events, I went by myself. You know what I'm saying? So they announced the UPA thing, and so my girl, I'm like, I might have to go to Vegas. She was like, I'm coming too. I'm just like, a part of me was like kind of uncomfortable because I was like, you care to like come through all this, like be in this type of environment, but at the same time, it was just like, bro, we do everything else together. We do TikTok together. We do the videos together. We go everywhere together. We conduct business together. So it's just like, all right, that is what it is. That's right.
Yeah, man. So, I took my wife to the 2K League when they was in New York. I had a business meeting in New York, and I made it my business to go say what up to Frank, and he introduced me to a couple coaches. I got to bump into people. I got to bump into comp. I got to talk to Keita because that was one of the games I didn't want to miss. That's why we still close to this day. She gave me the jersey off her back. Took my wife to Dallas and the baby with me. And she got to see in Dallas like, okay, man, like people really look up to you. Like you really inspiring players, and you really. And she was like, this is like it's like big, you know. And when I did the vlogs from Dallas, it kind of made people. It put people in that mode like, wow, okay, like this is bigger than what it is. But like if you don't. if you don't take pride in your own brand and your own organization and your own company, nobody else will. I've been the same way when we was losing. When you know what I'm saying? When I met you in 2019, we was losing in 2K. I was winning in Call of Duty, but in 2K we weren't really winning like that, you know. And it's like the same way, even with in Dallas. I love how you actually watch the game for the new players. I'm telling people like when you called me after the first game after we flood beer gang and you like, man, who the hell is Jaden? Where did you he a dog? Where did you find it? That's what I do. That's what we do. And then when you was I seen you interacting with Seldom online, like, hey man, go watch that video, you in it. Because there's a 90% chance he never click on your video. So you telling him like, hey man, go watch that, you in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these players is missing out.
That's the thing too, though. Doc. I'm not somebody that's big headed that just think everybody should just watch what I do. And you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like everybody should just click on my videos because I put them out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not one of those things where I felt like he was obligated to know that he was in there. I'm like, hey, because back in the day I used to title my shit differently, and I used to put every team was in there, blah blah blah. But now I'm smarter. I'm smarter because I know how the algorithm works. And that doesn't work when we putting everybody in there. You know, that doesn't work for the algorithm. And so if I know somebody that's interested in knowing that if they make something, I tell them, I say, hey, you in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Adios probably didn't know they was gonna be in there, but I quote retweeted my tweet and put, I put up and coming teams in here. This time it's Adios, yada yada. Now they're gonna go look at it because I'm not big headed where I'm just like, hey, everybody should watch my shit because I don't watch everybody else shit. I don't because I know that some shit just don't interest me. Right. And people can feel that way about my content. But if it's something that I know could benefit them, like I told Seldom, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you in there? Go check it out. Blah 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 blah. Because I know that's one of those things. Like, not to sound like I'm ahead of myself or nothing like that. I know that's one of those things where people feel like they made it when they're in those program sports center that I put out. It's one of those type of things. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm over the top or nothing like that, or I'm some big shot or like that. But I just know what it does for our community.
No, man, that's like, I mean, you're a prominent figure. So for a prominent figure to notice you, that's really all it takes is to give you that confidence. And that's really all you're doing is instilling confidence, letting people know you watching, letting people know like, hey, man, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. I'm not saying I'm drafting you, but I'm just letting you know, hey, man, are you on my radar? Y'all looking good. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? And I think that little push, and that's one of the things that people didn't really understand, like when we took somebody on like Seldom to be our captain for last post draft, and it was like, the amount of DMs, the amount of players that's like, yo, Doc, you finna ruin your brand, you finna ruin what you're doing, and it was like, nah, man, like this is I'm only taking the gamble because I know I can stand on my own, but I know when people have that big org push and that have somebody who's prominent stamp them in the community and say, you know what, that's my little guy, I want him to win. I'm going to do everything I can for him to be successful, if that's just including them in the video or if that's with me with coaching and working on your character and skill building. That's, like, even though things didn't work out and we parted ways, that's still a product of my coaching tree. You know what I'm saying? He's a product of the success that he's having.
You said something.
Go ahead.
You said something that was important, bro, because you said that, just because I did this don't mean I'm going to draft you. And I think a lot of people need to understand that, because I have this saying that I probably tweeted out a few times just randomly that I can't save everybody. I can't save everybody. Like, and what I mean by that is that I can't draft everybody. I'm only one team and with a few spots, bro, on the team. I can't draft. I cannot just. I know where most of us come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Fifth Ward. I mean, I'm from Fifth Ward. I'm from one of the roughest places. Yeah, I'm from one of the roughest places in Houston, bro. And I made it out. And I'm grateful that I made it out. But in the same sense, I know where a lot of people come from. Like Reese from Chicago. Like you're from Chicago.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Yeah, man.
Chicago. And I can't. And I know what you're going through. This, that, and third, blah blah blah. but I cannot save everybody, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
I can't save everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
love y'all to death. I mean, I push y'all as hard as I can for other teams to give looks to y'all. But it's one of the toughest things, one of the most realest things that I've ever had to deal with is not being able to save everybody, and that's one of the hardest things for me to come to grips with. So I just do whatever I can to help y'all get noticed, and hopefully a team take y'all. And you know, when you get drafted, I come up to you and hug you and cry with you and everything else because I'm happy for you as
Yes,
well.
sir.
But I just know I can't save everybody.
And I love it, man. I love it. One of the things that I think you bring to the community is that personal aspect, and that I say what I call it is selfless work, man. The work that we put in sometimes behind the scenes and the content that we do is for others. It's not for us. We're not gonna
You know,
necessarily get a monetary gain from this. You're not gonna get a monetary gain for from my advice. Like the amount of hours that I spend behind the scenes watching film, helping players, my boy Gingy, two Gins,
yeah,
two Gins. That's like
yeah.
me and him a couple weeks ago had a film session nobody knew about because I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't do no. I'm in his stream. I'm watching the game, and I know how good he is, and he making these simple mistakes. And I hit his DM immediately and say, "Hey man, me and you 11:30, I need you in this Discord." And he like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Man, you need to have a film session. These are things that I need you to work on for you to go from good to great. Like these, you missing out on certain things that you don't need to be missing out of." And he valued that. He valued me taking the time out my day to say, "Hey man," but I do that with a lot of players. I do that with I got girl gamers that we got a show coming up in the about episode 5 or 6 where I got my women in gaming that I've been working on, and the women that I got in the gym that I'm about to unleash onto the market. I mean onto the community that's already inside of the community, but now they got the backing of me and my camp and what I bring to the table and the things that I value, because a lot of these players just don't understand. Like when you got different eyes and ears to look at things in a different perspective, sometimes that's really all you need to get you over the hump is just understanding maybe from somebody else's point of view. And I think that sometimes people take for granted. Like put Twitter down, man. Like
Yeah.
Twitter, and all of the back and forth and all of that. Sometimes you got to put that down, man, because you got to, in order to see your vision, sometimes you got to take a step back and understand what you fighting for. And that's what I had to do as the person running Fire Sticks Gaming is I had to kind of understand what I'm doing this for, and I realized it's for my players' benefit. It's for my staff. It's for when I close this next deal. It's gonna feed these 3 people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of times people don't understand. I bring people in and I try to bring money opportunities to people to prepare them for when they get their real job. And you're dealing with younger kids in the community, and I try to be that OG. Guap asked the question because I told them get their last questions in for you. He said, "What advice would you give to an underage player that's looking to get into the league?" So like him, like Spam, what advice would you give to them besides keep killing? I'm assuming,
Man, man, look. Spam is like one of my favorite people in the world,
bro.
bro. And
Man,
I don't mean that just from 2K because I mean it as from a point of somebody that can take direction and just take advice and just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he hit me up one time and he was asking me about content. I said you got to do everything, bro. You got to do everything. He's about to be he's got partnered on Twitch, right?
mm-hmm.
He about to be monetized on YouTube. If TikTok wasn't 18 or over, he'd be monetized on there as well because he'd already reached the qualifications on there. And so this little dude's going to come into the league in season 6, and he's going to already have everything already laid out in front of him because he can take direction. And that's one of the things that yeah, that's facts. Yeah, but the thing is, like none of us coming to this shit knowing anything though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta just come out here and just look for like the information that we need. And when you got somebody that's 16, 17 years old like Spam, that can figure this stuff out, there's no reason that somebody like 22, 23 couldn't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about just the direction, bro. When as a young player, man, you got to be somebody that can take advice. Everybody, you're not as good as you think you are. That goes for anybody. I'm not as good as I thought I was as coaching. I can admit that, but I learn from my players every year. And so as a young player, when you're that good, when you're really good at something, and you feel like your shit don't stink, just sit back for a minute and think about the people that's in front of you, the mistakes that they're making, what are they doing to get ahead. You just said that that's the type of stuff you gotta realize, because it's there for the taking for you to understand. It's right in front of you. As a young player, there's no rush for you to make the league. There's no rush. You're underage. Your time will come, and all you gotta do is just take everything in. Just take everything in. Jack a 2-time champion, bro. They won 2 championships. How could I get on the level of them? I'm studying everything that they're doing. I'm studying everything I do. And as a coach right now, I'm going back watching Wiz DG games to figure out why their defense was so goddamn good.
That damn press. What you mean? It's the damn press.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it take you too long to get into your half court set, and by the time they got you, the PG tied, and you damn near baited at that point. I love that press.
Look, check this out. Check this shit out, bro. Like we practiced against them one time, and Sav was pissed. Sav was like, "Why is our press not like that? How is Jack able to stay on me the whole damn way up the court and nobody's open? Like that's how good the motherfuckers were. And they was doing this. They was doing this before the tip off. They was able to run this press the entire fucking year with nobody being able to break it. And I was glad that Jack got awarded for being on an all defensive team, because nobody was doing that press. Nobody could do the press like they was doing. When Kenny was doing their press the year before, other teams could replicate that press, right? But this press that the Wizards was doing, nobody could figure that out. Only way people figured it out now is because Dayfry is in his streams, and he's teaching it to the teams that he's playing on. So now people are figuring it out. It's too late. They just want 450 bands.
The crazy thing is, Famous, I sat there and I put this on everything I know. I'm sitting here right now, me and Doc had this conversation, and I had this conversation with numerous players. Said it ain't about getting the stop or getting the steal in that press or that defense. Yep. And last season, this season that we just passed, it's about delaying the offense as long as possible.
Yes.
That is literally all you got. And people sitting there and be like, Virgil, all you had to do was delay the offense as long as possible.
It takes too long to get into your set, and then by the time you get into your set, everything is obvious. You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy to sit back.
But by the time the point guard get the game, the ball back, it's 10 seconds on the clock.
You know what I'm saying?
What you're supposed to do with that? Yeah. And the crazy thing is, on the flip side of offense, I used to sit there and I used to tell people, scoring is only one aspect of the game. And people feel like, point guards are just supposed to score. And we understand, like, last season was a score-heavy point guard game. But when you watch that finals, Zach would average probably like 20 to 25 points. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this season, I didn't see nobody throwing no backdoor cuts. I didn't see nobody having nobody like throw a backdoor cut and then you fake a Dex in and out from the corner and now it's a 3. I didn't see nobody handing the ball off to the center and the center understanding that, okay, if I'm going to reset the ball 9 times out of 10, if somebody beat them on the Dex, the backdoor's the corner's gonna step up. I can say nobody was doing that. And people look at that stuff like, oh, well, I want to be the focal point. I want to be the reason why my team wins. That's not what you're here for. You're here to bring in results and you're here to do what's best for the team overall. Anybody that has the mindset.
See, that was the thing with the Wizards, though. The thing with the Wizards is that was not a lot of. Every other team, the point guards had so much pressure on the score, but for the Wizards, Jack didn't have that pressure. Jack didn't have that pressure at all because they was getting so many breakouts, they was getting so many fast breaks from their defense that pressure was limited. Like they was limited. If Jack scored a half court, that's fine. Blah 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 blah. But if they was getting all their points on the break and Jack had no worries until like the third or fourth quarter if he had a turn up or not, and that's what you want. That's what you want. I live for the day for my point guard out there have pressure like that.
You know
what I'm saying? And they figured it out. Two-time champs for a reason, man. So I hope I answered one question though, man. Just pay attention to the people that's ahead of you, what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, and see how you can learn from it or better what they're doing.
Okay. All right. Well, before I get to your closing and you shouting out all of your socials, I wanted to ask you something about the client that y'all use. Do you have a mode like pregame or anything where the five is in the gym and they can pass the ball to each other? Like when you
No,
go in the scrims?
no.
Okay.
It was supposed to. It was supposed to.
Like you could
This
just have all five
season.
in the gym and then like
Yeah.
Sav could pass to
Yeah.
somebody and you could. Cause I wanted to work on
Yeah.
like a playbook for like a 2K team, but I need to be able to pass the ball around versus putting my own virtual ball and it look cheesy. I got a
No.
dope concept and something I could kill for you.
So season 3, it was they were supposed to put it in, but then COVID hit and it took out a lot of stuff, and so it set us back. Like it helped us out by putting us on ESPN, but we got set back at least 2 or 3 years for all the stuff that the league was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of COVID, it was so much that they were trying to do by now that just back ended because of like the COVID restrictions and everything like that.
Okay.
So like they was like 2K was supposed to put it in season 3, but they couldn't do it because they didn't have all the employees able to work on the game.
Okay. Do you see a time where, sort of like when we had, and I'm not saying soon, I'm saying maybe in the next couple of seasons, do you see a time where it's going to be a tab on the retail game or it's going to be a mode where players be able to log in anytime soon?
So a lot of people on the outside looking in, they don't understand the ramifications of the CBA when it comes to us. We can't interact with the players on a big team or on our home teams, right? But as far as doing content with them, we can't do it because of the CBA. And it's the same thing goes for us being actually in the game next to them. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a CBA issue here. So I know the CBA is going to come up soon, and it's going to be another renegotiation period. And hopefully at that point in time, they're able to figure something out. But right now, it's a CBA issue with us being able to stand next to like Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo on the same game.
Great jewels. Last question before we let you go is from Christian. He's saying, will there be a combine tab again?
No.
Nope. So we're gonna redo the same type of combine field we did last time.
Yeah, if you go like to the Hornets page right now, they just put out signups right now for their team tournament.
Their league tournament
coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, dope, man. But Verse, you got any last questions before we get to the last particulars for Famous?
We done dropped all the gems.
Yeah, man. I love you like a brother, man. Like I appreciate you just being able to provide this content, not just to sit on YouTube, but people to be able to come back, players who missed the broadcast can come back and watch, man, all of the jewels you dropped and some of the ways you can they can connect and build their brand, their individual brands. What they can do to help themselves is get noticed in the community from people like yourself, man. And I just truly appreciate you coming on and spending some time with me today, man. It means a lot. So go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at, your socials, your TikTok, your YouTube, so they can go ahead and and follow you. I know I'm gonna have all my team dropping a follow on you and everything if they not already supporting, man. It's mandatory at this point.
First thing first, Mr. Florida 305. If you're in Miami right now, hit me up. You can come out. I leave on Friday to go back to Houston. So if you can come either Wednesday or Thursday to our practice facility, I will actually give you some heat check stuff, bro. If you can come out here, just hit me up on Twitter and we can schedule a time for you to come out here and I'll let you pick whatever you want to get.
That's my dog.
But anyhow, and y'all already know all my socials. You famous enough on just about everything. That's really all I got, bro. That's really all I got. Doc, after we conclude this, bro, call me so you can fix your YouTube shit because your shit is all jacked up.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate you for having me on.
Okay.
appreciate you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It's always good talking just to be able to interact with everybody. Because I fuck with y'all.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey, and Verse, go on, drop your social media too, Verse, so they can go follow you.
You can follow me at Lavelle Cole on all platforms, and that's pretty much it. I think that's it. You can follow me at Lavelle Cole on all platforms. That's LaVelCole on all platforms.
All right, y'all. All my Fire 6 family, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We had a great episode, man. 3 is a wrap, man. Shout out to you, Famous Enough, for coming through, man. GM and head coach for the Heat Check Gaming, man. Shout out to the whole Miami Heat organization for signing this brother. This is one of the best things they could have did, man, because he really cares. He's really passionate about his players. He's really passionate about this job. And he's really passionate about the community. Got content based on how to help you, not himself. So the selflessness content that I love to see coming out of people, man. And we got a brother that's doing what he's doing and providing inspiration for other brothers like ourselves who came from bad environments, who now got it out the mud like myself. And I'm proud to see and stand next to him and do content with him, because this is the type of inspiration that's going to help some future gamers 5 years down the line, man. Y'all stay in tune with this brother. We also got Verse, man. We appreciate him being here, Lavelle doing his thing, co-hosting, jumping in for Clutch, man. Wonderful guy, wonderful energy, wonderful spirit. You're going to see him on the court soon competing, man. So I'm excited about all of y'all being here, and I appreciate all of y'all support. Until the next one, man, you already know Fire 6 Gaming above all, FSG on top, man. I'll see y'all later.